back to Nicolette's Shapewear, all things shapewear. My name is Millie, your host for today, and today we are going into everything about waist training. Now, the new year is coming up, and we know that a lot of you girls are looking into waist training and really trying to get your fit goals ready, whatever they may be. I'm actually here to show you guys everything you need to know basically when picking a shapewear, from measurements to brands to seasoning if you don't know about seasoning, so basically everything that you need to know. If you haven't bought a waist trainer already, I am here to be your guide on picking a waist trainer and getting the perfect size. So if you're new to waist training, the first thing that you should know is that fitting is basically everything. If you get the measurements wrong, there is a very high chance of sending your waist trainer back for a new size. So make sure that you are measuring yourself with a waist trainer. Don't just go with your regular waist size. Say I'm a 30-inch waist, which I am. I'm not gonna go for a size 30 in a waist trainer because that's just not how the waist trainer works. Waist trainers are made in Colombia, and the fitting is definitely different. So if I were to get a 30, which is an extra small in a waist trainer, it would be way too small for me and I wouldn't be able to get it on, and that is no good, because if I did go with a regular 30 and I bought the waist trainer, I would get an extra small and I'm gonna have to end up sending it back and get an exchange, which is what we want to avoid. So every single website, wherever you may be looking for a waist trainer, is gonna have a size chart. They usually have it in the description box. For example, if you want to go to Nicolette's Shapewear, you just click in the description box and there will be a little click here to find out your size length. You click that and you'll get something like this. Now these are your measurements. Make sure that you have that on hand for your waist and your hips, and go with that. The one specifically on this labeling is in centimeters, but the one on the website is usually in waist and hip measurements. So the first thing I'm going to do is teach you guys how to take your measurements. So I just have a regular measuring tape here. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to take my waist and my hip. So what a waist measurement is, right here, the smallest part of your waist. Some people take it down here. This is not your waist. It's usually, my belly button is here, so it's right above my belly button, and that would be the smallest size of my waist. So I'm gonna take that. The number one thing that you should try to avoid is squeezing like this, like squeezing your waist to try to get the smallest measurement possible. See, like that is not that is not how you take your measurements. Try not to do any type of squeeze. Just measure it where the tape comes naturally, okay? So I'm gonna take my measurements and do it very not too loose, but also not squeeze it to anything too tight. Okay. So I have a 28 waist right now, 28 and a half. And then I'm gonna take my measuring tape and measure at my hips, which I usually like to start right here, right above my butt. It's cold outside. Okay, so I am still at about 39 to 39 and a half in my hips. So with that, I'm going to go on the website and put my sizing and compare my sizing in the size charts, and that is where I will get my size. Every website should have a size chart for you guys. If not, you can always contact customer service and they should be able to give you the perfect size for you. It also can vary. Like if you have a longer torso, you would have to go for a longer waist trainer, which is in Nicolette's Shapewear, it would be the 1021, and if you have a shorter torso, it would be a 1026 in Nicolette's Shapewear. So just keep an eye out if you're a little bit taller. I'm 5'2", so I usually like to stick with the 1026 because it is a shorter torso. And if I were to go on the website and click to find out my size, I would end up with my measurements at a size 32, which is the size that I am currently wearing in my personal waist trainer. As you can see, I wear it very often. It's already sort of worn out and a little bit crinkled. That's totally fine. It just means that it has molded to the shape of my body. and it's a very well-worn waist trainer. You guys have seen me wear this all the time in every single waist trainer video that I have. This is my favorite go-to waist trainer. Let's go ahead and go into something that I really want to talk to you guys about, which is branding. It really depends when you're choosing a waist trainer. Like, if you really want to get the results, to make sure that you're not getting those cheap Amazon fajas or Amazon waist trainers that go for about, sometimes I've seen $10 to $22. I have seen some okay ones for $25 and up, but the ones that range from $10 to $22, please, I highly suggest you avoid them. They are not authentic Colombian fajas. They're made of different boning. They're made of different materials from China. A lot of them are made from China, and these can cause you to get allergic to the waist trainers. And this is why some people have bad experiences with waist training, is because they end up not investing in a Colombian authentic faja. They end up investing in a Chinese made faja, made with cheap materials, which ends up in boning to break, and this could cause you a lot of harm. So as you can see, I could squeeze this and bend it as much as possible. I don't recommend you do this. I'm just doing this to show you guys. But I could bend it as much as I possibly can, and it's not gonna break because it is made of flexible steel boning, and it's not made of any bad quality materials. So really try to avoid those bad brands. Even some Instagram shops, try to avoid those as well, because you never know where they're sourcing their products from. Unless they have a storefront and you've seen a lot of pictures of customers wearing them, and unless they claim that it's an authentic Colombian faja, try to avoid any brands that are not credible, because that can really affect your waist training journey. So just try to stay away from those. Nicolette Shapewear actually has 7 storefronts. We have tons of photos on Instagram. Our fajas are specifically made in Colombia, and they are trademarked from Colombia, so you know that they are authentic fajas. So you don't have anything to worry about when it comes to the Nicolette Shapewear. Just like if you're shopping for cheaper waist trainers, just keep an eye out for that. So going into my next point is really assess your needs and what you want to do with your waist trainers. For me, I like to wear my waist trainer as soon as I come into work. I actually leave it at work and I put it on as soon as I come in, and then after lunch I usually take it out. So I wear it for about 3 to 4 hours, and it's just to maintain any previous waist training that I've done before, and it's just to maintain my waist. But I suggest, if you're a stay-at-home mom, that you don't really go with the latex waist cincher, because for one, it can be very annoying if you are constantly changing kids, and if you are running around lifting them up. This can really be bothersome for you. If you're a stay-at-home mom, I suggest, if you do want this, save it for when the kids are sleeping or when you're doing housework. This is really great to put on then. But if you do want a waist cincher that will be more comfortable and will also train your waist while you're not wearing a latex waist cincher, I suggest going for a power nut trainer. And this is more comfortable. It doesn't have as much boning, and it's a very comfortable and stretchy material, and this won't irritate you because it has no latex, it has no spandex. It's just made of the really comfortable second skin like power nut material. If you also go to work and you are easily bothered by latex waist cinchers, I really recommend this as a second option. Not a lot of waist trainer companies carry this, but Nicolette Shapewear, this is one of our specialties. I really suggest this one if you want something more comfortable to wear. The only thing that I would recommend the waist trainer for at the gym is during cardio or during jogging. I would not recommend it for high intensity cardio, like let's say HIIT workouts and stuff like that, because you are going to need a lot of air for high intensity cardios, and it's just very hard to just rip these out whenever you need a deep breath. So I don't suggest it for that. If you're doing light workouts or light cardio, light jogging, this would be great. But if you are doing, let's say, weight training or anything that is high intensity or anything that you really need to breathe in, I recommend a sweat belt from Nicolette Shapewear. This one is really great because it's a Velcro like material. It is super easy to put on. It's more on your waist, and then it has these two to cinch it in, and this is made really for just like extra sweat or extra back support for when you're weight training. And it also has a little bit of spandex on the inside to make you sweat more. I highly recommend wearing this with a tank top underneath it so you don't sweat right on it. And this is a good gym bag essential that I think a lot of girls should be wearing, especially if you're a weight trainer. It really helps with the back support. For example, if you're doing weighted squats or anything like that, these are really amazing. So say that you ordered your waist trainer, you measured yourself, you picked it from a reputable company, and you just received it. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to put it on and how long that you should wear it for your first 7 days. Usually I like to start from the bottom because it's just way more easier. I actually want to warn you guys that when you receive your waist trainer and you kind of do this, you're gonna look down and say, oh my god, this is way too small, I got a small size. That's the initial thought of every woman getting their waist trainer. But I assure you that if you spoke to a representative from the company or that you measured yourself correctly, then this is probably the correct size for you. All you need is a friend to help you because there is latex here, and this is what's going to be really hard for you to put on. Once you get past the latex, this part is what's stretchy, and it is what will mold to your body. So I really suggest having a friend to do it. And if you're just putting on a waist trainer for the first time, lay down, lean up against the wall, and sunk in as high as you can, and then get it on. For me, I don't really have to do this because, like I said, this is a seasoned waist trainer. I've already worn this for a couple of months now. So it won't be hard for me to put it on. Like I said, I like to start at the bottom and make my way up to the top. It looks easy while I'm putting it on now, but let me tell you, when I put it on for the first time a few months ago, I was really struggling. And that only happens for about the first week of wearing the waist trainer because it is brand new. And the latex is a really sturdy material. So that's actually what's making it very hard to put on. It's actually not the waist trainer itself. It is more of the latex that keeps the hooks together. So don't be worried about that. Okay, so now that I have my waist trainer on, I see that it fits fine. It has to feel like almost like a tight hug. It's gonna feel warm. It's gonna feel very tight, but it should not be painful in any way whatsoever. Your ribs should not feel squished. You shouldn't feel like anything too crazy. It should just feel like a really tight hug. And if you just received it for the first time, go ahead and leave it on for about an hour. If you received your waist trainer, it's very important to season it, and that means just basically train the waist trainer to get accustomed to your body, as well as you train yourself to get accustomed to the waist trainer. For the first 7 days, I recommend for the first day wearing it for 1 hour, for the second day wearing it 2 hours, for the third day 3 hours, for the fourth day 4 hours, and so on until you reach the 7th or 8th day, in which you can wear it for up to 8 hours. After that, I recommend waist training until you get to your desired size, because as long as you wear this every single day, your waist will shrink and it will get accustomed to the waist trainer, because that's what it is. It trains your waist to get smaller. So when you get to your desired waist, my desired waist is 26. So say if I went there, I just have to put on my waist trainer 2 to 3 times a week for a couple hours for that week, just to maintain the waist. Waist training is not something you just get to your goal and then you stop waist training, because your waist will go back to its regular size if it's not being maintained. Just like anything else, just like keeping a small waist, just like building muscle. If you don't maintain it and if you don't do anything to keep it, it is gonna go back to how it was before, and that's just the truth. Expect waist training to be a long process and something that you have to eventually make your way up to. It's not something that happens overnight, no matter what other a video say putting on a waist trainer will get you down 3 inches instantly, but as soon as you take it off, if you're not waist training, it's gonna go back to the original form. So my final point would be that if you are wearing your waist trainer every single day, make sure that you are taking your measurements weekly, and writing them down, or keeping a Instagram journal, or whatever it may be, the way that you track your waist. Make sure that you're taking your waist and hip measurements with the waist trainer on and with the waist trainer off, just to keep track of your results. It is also very helpful to join waist training groups. Nicolette Shapewear actually has a Facebook group in which we discuss our before and afters and our journey into getting the small waist. I will leave a link down below to join the group if you're interested. That is actually it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I actually have a giveaway in my previous video, so I'll leave a link down below. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and comment under that video so you can enter the giveaway, and make sure to follow the rules at the end of that video. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a happy holidays and that you are making your way to your New Year's goals. I'll see you guys in my next one. All of our Instagram information is down below. Our waist trainers and all the products that I talked about in this video will also be linked down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.